Peanut butter packs a lot of punch, flavor, and protein. So this year I came back from a trip from Malaysia, and in the middle of a street in Chinatown, they have a street called Petaling Street. One of my favorite things I tried for $4 were sautés of lamb, chicken, or beef, tossed with a peanut butter marinade. So I'm gonna start going on my marinade right away. Gotta start with garlic. In my world, you can't really use too much garlic. I wanna get rid of the skins. I'm looking for just the flavor of that garlic. But I do wanna mince it up. I wanna add a little bit of salt for abrasion. Bring my garlic towards the front of my cutting board. And just with the base of my knife here, just gonna apply pressure. Now, I don't need it completely pureed, but I don't want to get big bites of garlic. These limes are gonna add a nice, refreshing flavor, and it'll cut some of that creaminess of the peanut butter. I'm gonna chop this half and put it into my marinade. I want to cut it fairly small. In the restaurants, I would ask for a brunoise, which means a very fine dice, about 1/8 of an inch. I'm gonna use the juice of one of these limes. Now it's getting a little bit stubborn. So I'm gonna grab a spoon or a fork. I can also use tongs. You'll see how much more juice I get out of it. Probably a couple tablespoons. I wanna use about half of this peanut butter. And it's gonna start to get nice and thick. Not gonna fuss with this too much at this point because I still have a few ingredients to add into there. A little bit of brown sugar, some soy sauce, and cayenne. For this recipe, I'm not gonna add any salt, but I'm gonna get the salt from my soy sauce. Half cup. So the liquid is gonna help turn this paste into more of a marinade. I need a couple pinches of cayenne. Now, if you like hot wings, you can add more cayenne. If you don't like heat at all, you can remove it completely. This recipe doesn't hinge on the cayenne, but it's a nice little kick, especially with that lime and peanut butter in there. It's a great balance, right? But I do want to add a little bit of sugar. Because I'm using really high quality peanut butter, it doesn't have a lot of the extra sugars and preservatives that you may find in some other brands. Once this sugar caramelizes and starts to crisp up in the oven, it allows me to get a nice crunch. I'm not gonna be frying these wings. Normally you fry wings, but I'm not gonna fry these. I wanna bake them. So I'm just gonna mix this up. A little bit of black pepper, a little bit of water. Mix it evenly. Give it a taste. Salt, sour, a little bit of sweet. They are peanut chicken wings, so it's gotta have a good punch of peanuts. Now, these wings have already been cleaned and washed. In between this leg piece, there are 2 bones, and there's meat in between and on either side. I wanna take my knife, drop it right in between those bones, and score the meat right to the center so that my finger can go through it like this. Then on the other side, I'm gonna score the meat like that. Every time I do this, I think of my grandmother. She always scored the meat right to the bone so the seasoning goes right to the core. And you could suck on those bones and get a lot of flavor. Now I'm gonna dump my marinade in. Right now, I'm massaging the wings ever so gently, letting the peanuts permeate flavor and joy. Now, you remember how I scored all those wings here? I wanna make sure I get in there, make sure the marinade gets into those parts. Because this is chicken, you wanna make sure you wash your hands, very important. I wanna get my wings into the fridge for about 30 minutes. I wanna marinate in the fridge just so that it's safe. I am dealing with chicken. Gives me an opportunity to preheat my oven to 350 degrees. And just when you think it's crunch time, I'm about to really show you crunch time with my obedient ingredient, peanuts. Now, there's more than one way to make the crunch of a side salad a sweet thing. You think I'm nuts? Try me. I want to get my Malaysia and pub-inspired chicken wings into my oven. Check it out. One even layer, okay? That way they get even heat and they allow to get direct contact so that it can crunch up that sugar so it'll get nice and crispy. I'm using a parchment lined tray so it's easier to clean and then my marinade won't burn. Into the oven. My chicken wings are gonna need about 30-40 minutes, and about the halfway point, I wanna flip them so that they get crunchy on both sides. Now, my grandfather used to make this crunchy topping that he would put on rice. I'm gonna steal that idea and incorporate some peanuts into my spicy crunchy topping for my rice noodle salad. Get it? Rice crunchy, rice crunchy. Sometimes it's just that simple. But it starts with shallots, so check it out. And I need a couple of red finger chilies. And this is a really simple dish and a condiment to be able to add texture to almost any meal. I just want to slice my shallots about 1/8 of an inch thick. And I want to make sure I slice them evenly. You got to pay close attention and look at everything you're doing when you're chopping it. These chilies, I want to slice evenly as well. If you don't want it so spicy, you can go in there and remove the seeds. Cornstarch is like magic. The beauty of frying with cornstarch is it traps the juices of whatever I'm sealing inside the product so it stays nice and juicy, but the exterior gets crispy. I want to use peanut oil today because, hey, I'm using peanuts, why not? But also, if you're frying, it's just as good as vegetable oil, if not a little bit better, because the smoke point is that much higher and things aren't going to burn. The oil isn't going to start smoking. I want to make sure I break up the shallots so I get these individual little rings. Coat it very lightly. Over to my fryer oil. Now, if you don't have a thermometer for your frying station, you can take a little bit of this cornstarch, dunk it in. If it starts to bubble like that, you hit 350, turn the heat down to medium and let it stabilize. I want to dredge off or get rid of this excess cornstarch that's on the surface of my shallots, because I don't want to kill my oil with all this cornstarch. It's quite hard on the oil. I do want it lightly coated. Get my chilies in there. I just have a plate with a little bit of paper towel on it to help drain off the fat. Just as it's starting to go brown, I want to pull it out because it'll continue to brown. The smell is incredible. Nice. Get that out right away. Drain it. And in we go with the chilies. Same deal. And these don't take as long to fry. I just want to release some of those oils and make the flavor really, really vibrant and get a little bit of crunch on the outside. That is splendid. I got 2/3 of my special spice crunch all ready to go. It would not be complete without some peanuts. So I'm looking for about nearly as much peanuts as shallots at this point. Transfer those. You can hear it's nice and crunchy. Oh, I love that sound. All right. Just gonna spread it out. Season it with a little bit of salt, pepper. Give it a taste. So clean and crisp, bright, a little bit of kick. If you think that's nice, I'm gonna show you something even nicer with a little bit of rice. Making sure I flip my chicken wings so that they get nice and crunchy on that other side as well. Another 10, 15 minutes or so until all the juices run clear and they're done. That gives me some time to start working on my rice noodle salad.